This is a PC, and I'm gonna try to game on it. I've got my graphics card, I've got my PC. Now let me just plug them in.
Nope.
We'll have to figure something out.
Now, this PC is typically designed to be a NAS, you know, a network attached storage. You can grab one of these things, set that there, grab your SSD, which is about the same size as it, plug it in. There you go, plug it into the internet, and then you have a full NAS, access files, and all of that. That is not why we're here. We're here because this thing has PCI Express. My question is, can this output to a GPU or be the input? I don't know, something like that. So I bought one of these. This is a PCIe X16 connector that goes to PCIe X4. And come to find out, it plugs directly into the NAS. So my question is, can we install Steam OS on this? And then can we make this thing game? As for a test GPU, we have this. This is a GT 730. I think this will be a good test bench for us just to test and see if we can get video out on this thing. I'm not 100% sure if we need this 12-volt power. Kind of terrified of plugging this in because this came with no user instructions on how this all works. So I guess we'll find out. Since this GPU uses no power, we should just technically be able to plug this in and see if it works, right? Right. I have a monitor right here and HDMI. So I guess let's plug in HDMI, plug in the NAS, and there's no power button on this, so it should just boot up. Hopefully it doesn't cook this thing and then the video's over. Okay. When I was testing the GT 730 for the first time, I actually did get a video signal, but I completely missed it. Okay, I'm not seeing anything. And so then I thought, maybe if I add a power supply to bring in 12 volts, maybe it'll work. And then I thought it was a crappy GPU. So I figured I would bring in the 1060, you know, kind of up the big guns, you know? Now, because the GT 730 is a terrible graphics card for gaming, you know, this thing could technically play like Minecraft and things like that, but let's be honest, it's not very good. And although this one is not much better, this is a GT 1060 3 gig card, and this can game pretty decently. But the only thing about this is it requires extra power, but we have a 1000-watt power supply, so we should be good. So let's plug this in like so. Let's plug in USB. That will be for our boot drive. We need a keyboard and mouse. So what am I missing? Also wouldn't be bad to add a Ethernet cable that has the little thing broke off on it. Then we need HDMI. So HDMI can plug directly into this. Graphics card, Zima blade. We have Ethernet. We have USB. We need power now. Maybe I should power this on first. Okay, GPU's powered on. Plug in the Zima blade. 3, 2, 1. Come on, give us a signal. Come on, give us a signal. Yeah, let's freaking go. It's doing thing. Okay, so booted into the Casa OS login, but we need to try to boot off the USB drive. So I think there is some sort of issue where the 12 volts is back feeding into this thing. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but for some reason, when I unplug the Zima blade sometimes, the Zima blade still stays on. I don't know where it's coming from, but anyways, screw it. We want to see if this thing can game. Turn on the power supply, turn on the Zima blade, no image. Come on, Zima blade, you got this, dude. So the setup is still not working, and I'm not sure why. Let me think. Also, this video is sponsored by All PCB. Right now, All PCB is offering $30 off your first order, plus a $30 shipping discount, any size, and no limits on your PCB specs. And the cool thing is, these discounts can be combined. So sign up right now and literally get a PCB prototype for $1. Thanks to All PCB. Now back to the video. Well, I do know that this did work on this other monitor, and technically this GPU did work for a second. You know what? I just realized something. We need an SSD, and I only have a 256 gig one available, which is fine. Plug it in. Oh yeah, the 1 terabyte flash drive. Don't worry, you'll be in another video. Okay, let's plug in this HDMI, which goes to the monitor that's sitting up here, and we'll see if we have any image. Let's just plug in the Zima blade by itself and just see if we get anything out. Okay, so we plug in the Zima blade, and it turns on the power supply, and the GPU starts spinning. Do we get an image? We do get an image. Okay, promising. But if we turn on just the power supply, does the Zima blade turn on? The Zima blade turns on, but the Zima blade makes a weird winding sound. And do we have an image? Yeah, the Zima blade's booting. Oh yeah, no, it booted. It booted. Okay, so that does work. All right, so apparently you can power the Zima blade without its original power adapter, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if it's healthy to do that, but you can. All right, so we have Ethernet, we have USB, but we're not able to boot from this drive, and I'm not sure why. So I need to figure that out first. How can we get this thing to boot and install? Ah, I know. All right, right, let's disconnect the GPU. And okay, this is what I'm looking for. Let's first install SteamOS to this SSD via its own output here first. Then I think we should be able, once we get this installed, it should just somehow boot to this, but it will boot through the graphics card, and we'll just go in that direction first. Time to boot the Zima Blade. Come on, Zima Blade, boot on your own power with your own output. Yeah, Zima Blade, let's go. That's good. All right, cool. We're at a boot screen. How can we boot UE5 firmware? Okay, we see Zima Blade logo again. Oh, here we go. Interesting. So USB disk. Yep, those are all enabled. Oh, we're in the BIOS. That's kind of cool. Graphics configuration. Integrated graphics. Yeah, we want leave that. Okay. Primary display, IGD. Oh, and so you can do PCIe. That's insane. That's really cool. This is going to be really helpful for us. But for the time being, we want to leave these settings as normal because we know that the Zima Blade will boot and it will work. But we want to go to the boot settings. All right. Boot options. Oh, it does say USB. Windows boot is number 1, then Debian. Okay. And then the light on, which is so it does detect the SSD. So that's good. All right. So we want to make, see, I don't know which USB partition is what, to be honest. So we want this one to be, we'll do USB 1, and then we'll do this one USB 2. And then we'll make this option USB, because I don't know which one is which. And we just wanted to boot off of something that's not the original MMC, which is on the board. All right, let's save changes and exit. Yes. All right, can we get this thing to boot? Is it gonna boot? Come on. Yes, SteamOS, let's go. Let's go. We're booting SteamOS off the USB. It worked. Wow. Let's talk about wins today, dude. This thing was like guaranteed to work. This is insane. All right, cool. So once we get to the OS, then we should be able to just install it to the SD. Here we go, dude. Oh, it's gone again. Black screen. Why do we have a black screen? And it's working. Let's go. Now we need to wipe device and install SteamOS. Okay, let's do that. No NVMe drive detected. So what do we need? An NVMe? No, we don't need an NVMe. We could install this directly to a SSD, couldn't we? Oh boy, now I have to figure this out. I'll be right back. Okay, I think I figured it out. Now there's no graphics enhancing here. All right, so we need to do LS block, and then this will tell me where my drive is. So my drive, is SDA. Okay, so we need SDA. Right, so we need to exit this. So now we need to open up our files. We need to go to tools, and we need to go to repair device, open with Kate, and then fix this to not be NVMe, but in our case, SDA, and then save. All right, so now we go to repair SteamOS install. Come on, you got this. There we go. Enter. Launch it. All right, perfect. It looks like it's working. Proceed. Fix my OS installation. I can't imagine why this wouldn't work right now. Everything that we've had in our path has been nothing but success.
You sure about that?
And I can't imagine why we can't overcome this in specific.
You sure about that?
Okay, it's still not opening. Yeah, this should be it. Enter. Proceed. But then it exits. Did I do something wrong? That's my question. Maybe I do SDA1. All right, let's change this to SDA1 and then save. So then we should be able to open this. Proceed. It's still doing the same thing. Okay, so just reading online, I found out that if I format my drive, that shows up another drive. Oh, interesting. This is my primary drive. Okay, this is extra videos that I had. So we need to reformat because I think that this should fix it. Okay. Yeah. So we want to format this guy. Properties, more. I'm looking to see how do I format this drive. I feel kind of dumb. So I found out that if I unmount the drive, then now I have the ability to delete a partition, and then we can create a new one, and we'll just run with that. Now apply. Yes. Okay, so now it's formatting the disk and creating the new partition, and then we should be able to install SteamOS, maybe, question mark. Okay, it finished. And boom. Let's try it now. So let's click that and hit enter. Okay, it's doing things. Proceed. Maybe this will work this time. No, it still didn't work. Okay, I'm assuming that this is going to be it. From what I was reading, I need to put a comment here. That's a 3. No, I'm going to mess this up. Do that. And then for line 467, we need to also put one of these there. Okay, now let's save. Exit. Now we should be able to try this, and it should work. And it still doesn't work. Bruh. How does this still not work? Let's just, let's do that. Okay. And then apply. Yes. So we're just going to create a different partition, and then hopefully this will work. Then we'll try again. Okay, that finished. Now, all right, cool. Now let's just open this again, and we'll hit proceed. And it still doesn't work. Let's try this one. Open that one and proceed. No freaking way it worked. Kind of. And then it stopped. Wait, what just happened? It started working. Hold up. Let's try again. Okay, what made it stop? Is it just not a correct partition? Maybe it's just not a good partition. Okay, let's open up the partition manager, but we don't want this. We want select device. We want this one, right? So we want to delete all of these. Okay, so I'm gonna need to delete that, and that. Okay, now we should just be able to do this. We'll just use that as the primary because I figured that ext4 would be fine, but apparently it doesn't. And let's hit apply. All right, we're gonna try it again because the install thing started to work for some reason, but it's not completely working, and I'm not exactly sure why. But it's fixing it. Go fix it. Come on, you got. There we go. All right, cool. Let's try it. Enter. Proceed, and then it just quits. Okay, but what about this one? Proceed, and it just fails. Enter, proceed, but then can I stop it? No. Let's try something else. How about we go to tools and run this, execute it. It does nothing. Open terminal here. Okay, prepare device .sh. Okay, how about we just drag and drop it into the command window. Enter, run as root. Oh, sure. Here, let me do that real quick. Let me just run as root. Sudo, enter. Okay, all right, here we go. The partition table has been altered. Make fs. The file does not exist, and there's no size specified. So that's the fail right there. All right, more research. Got to figure it out. Okay, I may have found the issue. It says diffs suffix, and we're going to get rid of he and just leave that open, and hopefully this will just allow this to work. Because apparently, when it's saying that it's failing, it says SDA P6 does not exist. I think it's P is related to the NVMe. So let's try again. Things are doing things now. I think we got it. Come on. All right, well, now let me just let this install, and it should hopefully work. Man, what a troubleshooting experience. Holy cow, dude.
It's just been really hard.
All right, I'm gonna let this do its thing. Hopefully it doesn't fail. All right, so it ended there. Now I gotta find out if that is right. Is this all right here? If it failed to remove the PMP. My assumption is yes. Screw it. Let's reboot and see if we got this thing installed. Reboot time, disconnect the flash drive, reboot, and let's see if we got the Steam OS installation. Now let's try to get into here and wait for it. It's not showing up on my monitor yet. Okay, cool. UEFI firmware. We want to get into the boot menu and try to boot from the SSD instead of the flash drive now. Zima Blade. It's rebooting. Here we are. Let's go over to boot, and we want this to be this one. Now we should be able to save changes and exit. Yes. All right, so when this thing reboots, now it should technically not work because there's a problem. Okay, let's reboot the device again. Zima Blade. See the Zima Blade, and same thing. Nice. All right, so it doesn't work. Nice. And still not working. We're almost there. Almost there. Okay, so I found on GitHub there is a nice custom Steam OS installer that has it already pre-modified, so I don't have to play around with this anymore. And let's run this thing. .sh all enter target disk SDA. Okay, yes. Okay, we'll do dev SDA enter boarded by user. Oh, enter target disk SDA. Yes, that's fine. Yes, in all caps. SDA does not exist. Okay, still not working. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, let's bring this up. This we'll select device, select this one, and then we gotta delete all these. All right, let's leave it like that, and then let's go back to this new tab. No, we already did that because I am feeling fancy. I'm just gonna copy this target disk SDA. Yes, all caps. SDA does not exist. Okay, so do we do exit? It doesn't exit the script. Come on, we got this. Close program because it didn't work. All right, so let's try paste that in again. Oh, fix that. Enter. Okay, so let's just do dev SDA. Maybe it wants that. Yes. Proceed. Is it actually gonna work this time? Okay, I think we got it this time. I think this is gonna be it. Dude, this has gotta be it, man. Come on, if this is not it, this is crazy. How can we not install SteamOS? This is absolutely insane. It's like freaking garbage. Come on. Why isn't it natively just supported where you can install it to a SSD? I don't get that. Let me install it to whatever I want. Imaging complete. Okay, choose to reboot the Steam Deck now or cancel and stay in the repair image. Just proceed. Screw it. All right, come on. Let's just, you know what? We're just gonna reboot the device. Then we'll boot into BIOS. If you spam escape on the keyboard, eventually you'll boot into BIOS. Ask me how I figured that out.
You want to know how I got these scars?
There we go. And we want to go over to this. Oh, it's already set as boot partition number 1.
Okay, let's disconnect the SteamOS. SteamOS should be on here now. All right, should work.
Turn the device on. Does it boot into Steam? Zima Blade. Come on. This is, dude, this is it. This is where the chili meets the cheese. Do we get SteamOS? We have it's sitting at Zima Blade. Is it just boot looping now? It's boot looping. Why is it not turning on? Oh my gosh, dude. Okay, spam escape. Let's try to get back to the BIOS again. Hopefully we can. All right, we're still here. Okay, yeah, SteamOS is here. Oh, let's do that and then that. All right, is it gonna boot Steam now? Come on, Zima Blade, you got this. No signal. Turning on. No display yet. It's still not booting it. Dude, what's going on here? Oh my gosh. Spam escape again. Let's try to get it back into the BIOS. Okay, back in the BIOS. All right, let's go back over and we'll change this back to SteamO. Maybe we could change it to that. Maybe we try that one. Nope, that doesn't work at all. Nice to know. We're back. SteamOS. All right, save changes and exit. Let's see if it boots. No signal. Zima Blade. Okay. Is it just gonna boot loop again? We see the Zima Blade logo. Okay, hang on. I see lights flashing on the Zima Blade like it's loading stuff. Maybe we should just let it sit. Maybe this is just like the boot logo or something. Or maybe it's crashing every couple seconds or something. I can't imagine. It's got to work. It's definitely loading data, but is it actually gonna load what we need it to load? Wow, this Zima Blade is hot, dude. I'm gonna let the Zima Blade cool down and we'll try again here in a few minutes. I think we need to change the plan. So for some reason, I cannot get SteamOS to work at all. For the life of me, I don't understand the problem here, but I think I have a solution to our big problem. Remember this guy? You know, the 1 terabyte flash drive. Well, I was thinking, since we already installed Windows onto this, well, we kind of like cloned it over. I think that we should try to boot off of Windows, maybe install some graphics drivers because I'm more familiar with Windows anyways. And then we should try to game on the Zima Blade with the 1 terabyte flash drive. Yeah, so it'll be something like this. The Zima Blade is the PC with the RAM. This is our storage. And if I can get this thing to work, the graphics card. I don't know. Let's try it. First things first, the Zima Blade, flash drive, graphics card. Let's plug in the graphics card. Plug in the USB extension tool. I'm just kidding. It's just a USB hub. All right, we have the keyboard and mouse. We have the flash drive. Okay, we have the graphics card. So this is our storage. This is our video. I have the somewhat graphics CPU driver thing right here. So maybe we should set that up first. But just in case we need it, we have a power supply for 12 volts. I don't think that we're gonna need it, but we might. Okay, so I'll tell you what. This is what we'll do first. Let's plug in the Zima Blade with Ethernet with HDMI. And this HDMI will be directly from the device itself at first until we get graphics drivers and CPU drivers working. Because once we're at that point, then we shouldn't have a problem at all. Okay, and plug the power cable in. Perfect. Switch over the source. All right, perfect. So booting the Zima Blade. Then we should see the grub menu, potentially. Unless it's just gonna boot Windows. Okay, it's just gonna boot Windows, so we're good. Now, I did do a little bit of prior setting up because I just wanted to make sure Windows was just gonna actually boot on it since our SteamOS was such a disappointment.
This guy stinks!
But that comes with what we're doing next, which I have not tried anything yet. Let's see if we can get drivers installed and see if we can play some games. All right, we're trying to boot it up again. Come on, Zima Blade. Yay, Zima Blade, let's go. We're gonna boot Windows. Okay, now, once we get into Windows, then we should be able to do some things. Come on, just boot into Windows. You know you can do it. Yes, let's go. Oh yeah. All right, so we need to go to our USB drive and try to uncompress this thing because this is supposed to be the graphics drivers for the main CPU. If we can get this installed, then we should be good. Let's just move those right to the USB disk itself. Now we just have to wait. All right, and it's finishing up. Man, that took literally forever. Perfect. Let's run the installer. All right. Yes. Please move to a non-system folder. It is on a non-system folder. What are you talking about? Oh my gosh, dude. All right. So we create a different folder. Come on. Don't take 500 years, please. Please don't take 500 years.
2,000 years later.
All right, let's try to run the installer again now that it's on the desktop and not on a USB drive. All right, come on. Collecting data about the device. Well, you're gonna find out that this device is totally capable of running graphical games. Let's get this moving. Ethernet is working just in case it needs it. And open this folder. All right, Ethernet's working. Let's run the installer. Hit the big yes when it pops up. Yes. Begin installation. I pray that this just works. Yes, let's go. Okay, cool. So now I should just be able to skip this agreement and hit I agree. Yes. All right. Installing new graphics driver. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Now I guess we wait. Restart to repair drive errors. Some sort of drive errors. It'll it'll be all right. I don't foresee any real problems happening here.
You sure about that?
I just have to let it sit and do its thing, I guess. You know what? In the meantime, we need to get the graphics driver for the GPU that we're going to be using. Get the download. Download now. Oh, something happened. Whoa. Oh, it came back. Okay. Oh, looks like the graphics. The graphics installed. This program worked. All right, cool. So we at least have the CPU like doing things. So it should, as far as I can tell, once the graphics drivers are installed and working, the computer should technically work a little bit better. Oh my God, this thing is hot. Holy crap, man. Let's get a fan on this thing. Okay, we gotta shut this computer off. I mean, it's like you could almost cook an egg on this thing. That's not good. This is not good at all. Oh my God, dude. Yeah, it's like hot, hot, hot. You know what we should do? We could put this on top of the power supply and just let the fan cool it while we try to play some games on it. I think that would probably be the best move, to be honest with you. That's the thing. These things are not meant to play games on. They're built as a NAS. But the fun thing about them is that they have an x86 processor in them with 16 gigs of RAM and a PCIe slot. So yeah, I think in the future would be fun is to put a heat sink here and then try it. But in the meantime, we'll just set it on top of here. We'll run this power supply and then hopefully that fan will keep it cool somewhat anyway. Okay, now that we have most things done, let's connect our GPU. So I don't know if we need to connect this, but I guess we will just in case. Let's connect the GPU's 12 volts, the GPU itself. All right, just in case it needs 12 volts here, we'll connect these pins. Don't know that it will, but in the slight chance that it needs it, might as well just connect it. All right, cool. Make sure Ethernet is connected. USB, and this is going to be for our disk drive. When I say disk drive, I mean our flash drive and our keyboard and mouse. We don't need this because we're not using it. We're also going to need to take this power supply and short it so it turns on. I don't think we're going to need to apply power to it because the 12 volts that's going to be coming in through USB-C should be sufficient. So let's short out the green and black wire on the power supply. And then this should just turn on. It should just feed the 12 volts in when I just plug it in. Since it's just going to be back feeding everything, we don't need to actually supply voltage. And then the 12 volts coming out of this should be enough to power the fan. All right, I think that's it. So let's plug in our HDMI cable right here. And then we should be just about ready. Let's plug it in, see what we got. Okay, and the fan came on here. Fan came on here. This thing's booting. We see a red light over here for the flash drive. It's turning on. Let's switch over. We have a signal. Come on, GPU. Dude, this would be so sweet if we can get the GPU to come on and start working. So it doesn't appear that the Zima blade is turning on with the 12 volts coming in from this guy. So it is turning on, but it's not displaying anything. We're gonna try plan B, where we just plug in the power supply and try to get it to turn on that way. Since it is 12 volts, let's turn that switch off, then plug it in. All right, turn on the power supply in 3, 2, 1. Okay, Zima blade turned on. We see the flash drive not doing anything. We see the supply on. We see this on. How about we disconnect that and just try this instead for now? Okay, so here's the problem is it is not reading from the flash drive. All right, let's kill the power supply really quick. We're also gonna kill the 12 volts here because I think if we can just supply the card and the card can be supplied by its own 12 volts through this, because if we turn this on, the Zima blade itself doesn't turn on. And you can see the lights here on the flash drive don't turn on. So I bet you if we try plugging this in and the power supply independently at the same time, all right, we see power light. Okay, power light's on. It's loading something. Do we have an image? I'm not seeing anything yet. Should I be concerned? Maybe slightly. Let's kill this. Let's kill that power. Let's unplug this. Then we will plug in this back to the original HDMI. Switch the input. We're going to boot the Zima blade back up, but in this instance, we are going to boot it into the BIOS and we're going to change this might be a cursed thing to do, to be honest, but we are going to change graphics. Primary, yes. Primary display, PCIe. That's what we want. It might brick it, but that's fine. Save changes. All right. Do we still have an output via HDMI? So we have no signal, but that's fine. That's fine. All right. Since we swapped the display, let's go ahead and plug this in and get that close. Okay. We have that hooked up. Now we're going to unplug this since display doesn't work through there anymore. It should only work through PCIe. We're going to plug that in. All right. We're going to turn on on both the Zima blade and the power supply in 3, 2, 1. All right, we see the light coming on there. Let's switch over the input. Do we have display? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yes, dude, let's go. We got the GPU working. Come on, dude, that was a lot of troubleshooting. All right, to get this GPU setup working on the Zima blade, don't touch the 12 volts here. There's already 12 volts being supplied by the Zima blade. Don't touch anything in BIOS to get the PCI output working, because it just natively works when you plug it in. And yeah, this should be plenty to cool the Zima blade. Anyways, let's get this put back on and we'll boot it into Windows and give it a try. So we got it set up, and then I've got a power switch over here. We're gonna turn it on 3, 2, 1, and it works. Okay, good deal. Now we just have to set up to boot back into Windows. Come on, boot into Windows, boot into Windows. There we go, boot into BIOS. We just need to switch this to here, and then it should just boot directly into, yep, okay. Then we need to type in and boot, and then it should just boot into Windows. Cool, it did something. All right, enter again. It's booting Windows now. That was pretty simple. Now we just have to see if the GPU is detected, because it's technically powered on and connected. We just don't have an HDMI cable hooked up to it at the moment. So that's what's going to be really intriguing to me here in a second. Okay, is it booting? Yes, we have a please wait. That's lovely to see. It's booting into Windows. I'm hoping this is it, dude. Come on, computer. You got this, dude. I believe in you. Oh my God. All right, we made it. All right, where's my mouse? I don't have a mouse yet for some reason. There's my mouse, and let's see what's the main hole up here. We have graphics drivers installed, I'm pretty sure. It's just taking a very, very long time to turn on. It's okay, CPU is at 100%, that's why. Oh, and we see lines showing up. Can you guys see that on your end? Yeah, I've got lines. Okay, that might be because of the GPU, but I'm not 100% sure, because these graphic lines here will probably go away once we switch over to the GPU. All right, display adapters. Okay, it doesn't see the GPU yet. Let's just double check and see. Do we get the... No, we didn't download it. Okay, so we need to download the graphics driver. Let's download it. All right, cool. We're downloading that, so that should just be a couple minutes. Suppose once it's done, then it should just work. Oh, it sees it. Okay, so do we even need the driver? Maybe, but okay, hang on. Let me connect another HDMI cable to it, to the other one, just to see if it pops up. Oh, dude, it popped up. It popped up. Holy crap, dude. It popped up. We have it working. The GPU is working. Oh my gosh. Yes, dude. Let's go. Okay, let's just unplug this one. Let's just pretend that that one doesn't exist. We're running directly off the graphics card. All right, because I don't know how much faith I have in this thing, let's just make sure that this is still working. As far as, let me just make sure that it sees the GPU completely. It's obviously working right now. Display adapters, there it is, 1063 gig. Oh my gosh. All right, screw it. World at War time. We're gonna just launch World at War and just see if it works. I just switched the HDMI over to my capture card. Okay, it's still working, kind of, I think. Hold on, wait a minute. Oh, he thinks that there's another screen. Okay, I just said screw it. We're just gonna screen record with my regular camera because my capture card's not working. Yes, we'll hit yes, and we'll exit out of that, exit out of that. Is it gonna boot the game? That's all I wanna know. Is it gonna boot the game? Are we gonna be able to game on the Zima blade? Oh my gosh. All right, let's try to get into game quickly. The most graphic intense one, Doris. Come on, are we able to game on a computer that is the size of a business card, credit card, almost, like quite literally? Let's go. And how is it? Oh, it's not half bad. It's basically the same thing almost as the GeekCom. This is actually not bad. Wow, dude. I wish I knew how to do the frame meter. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure how to do that, but we are gaming. We are literally gaming on this. I know this is doing most of the heavy lifting, but we're literally gaming on this. And we're gaming off of a flash drive too. This is incredible, dude. Let's see, can I get away from them? Oh man, oh no, that was it. That was it. We literally just gamed on a business card, credit card sized computer. I'm amazed. If you haven't already, you should subscribe. And what should I try next?